What's up? Keith Kalfas with I Am Ability, day 7 of my detox. I'm alive. Last night I had somewhat of a breakdown. I started heating up food in the microwave, leftover chili, and I was like, I'm gonna eat chili and cereal. I can't do this anymore. I'm gonna freak out. And what did I do? I took it out and I put it back in the fridge, and I didn't eat anything. And my legs were cramping, so I drank a whole bunch of water. And I went to bed with no food, slept all night, and now it's almost noon again, so 7 days now, no food. The ego will fester. It will tell you that you need to eat, and it'll start even making you panic. But you don't have to eat. I'm not giving medical advice here. I'm going to the Better Health store to get another 20-ounce Miracle Cure drink with beets, apples, leafy greens, turmeric, lemon, stuff like that. So I guess that's where my nutrition is coming from. But aside from all that stuff, I want to talk about the deep-seated habits of the ego and how it will fester. I sweat my ass off. That's what sucks about the winter. You wear a stupid fucking coat and you sweat your ass off. You're literally dripping in sweat. But 90% of the time, you're inside of a warm environment. Anyways, I made a video this morning that I don't think I'm going to upload. It's me talking about deep stuff, and I'm realizing that the final point you get to, and you'll see it happen in me, is when I upload a video, and I'm just like this. Day 14. I have nothing to say. I'm at peace and oneness. Because everything else is content. I'm realizing that like 90% of my personality is just a bunch of rehearsed rhetoric in my head of stories that we talk about all day to ourselves, and we're trapped in these sickening fucking paradigms. One great thing that's happened because of this fast, dude, I gotta take this jacket off 1 second. One great thing that's happened because of this fast is last night while I was sleeping, I'm not gonna tell my wife this, but this is crazy. You know how if you stick your tongue on a 9-volt battery, you can feel it like buzzing? When I sleep next to my wife at night, I'm like a very physical person. Like I like to have my foot or my leg always touching her, or somehow it's like a connection, very connected to her. And so at least even like our feet touching or something, that's just my thing. But anyways, when I was touching her foot last night with my foot, I could feel that my body was in a state of alkalinity and her body was in a state of acidity, and nothing against her or anything, but and I had to like pull my foot away from hers because it felt like I was like touching like a 9-volt battery, and not that she lives some horrible lifestyle or anything. It's exactly how I just was a week ago. And then I started having these paradigm shifts. Like I could step in and out of different realities. Like I realized that your reality is nothing more than your reality, no matter how strongly you believe in everything you believe in, and your story of your life and your career and your problems. It's nothing more than a paradigm, because someone else's paradigm is completely different, and they're all these like different like soap bubbles, right? Another thing I learned is I was able to take on other people's paradigms and go, oh my God, my life is nothing more than a story that I've created. And all my habits of my ego and my addictions and feeding my face with food is a band-aid to stop the suffering, the unnecessary mental anguish and suffering, which is the victim. It's the crybaby. I also learned that even though in my life I've come very much of a man, I'm sorry for talking so much about myself, it's just like I could say you become very much of a man or a woman, there's still an inner child crying out about your problems that has nothing to do with anything. It's nothing more than these weird deep-seated childhood issues that keep crying about your story or rehearsing your story. It's not real. It's just a fucking story, and you could do anything you want, however you want, whenever you want. And that brings me to lawful and legal and jurisdiction and freedom and 48 star flags. Totally different type of subject, but we are inherently free. We are spiritual beings. There's these different levels of truth that I talked about in a previous video, and I started seeing universal and spiritual truth very deep stuff out, and I'm just laying in bed going through this, and man, I'm fired up. I'm gonna keep going until I either break down crying or I drop to my knees and that demon is exorcised out of me. Those demons, we all have them, whatever it is. So cool. And thanks for the encouragement and the comments. I'm going in there to get a drink, and then I'm going to go get some studio foam for my recording studio for better sound, so I can make more professional videos. And amongst other things, I hope you're doing very well. Okay, see you soon.